Hello friends, in the first part of the introductory lecture about lipoprotein and cholesterol and plasma lipid, we already gone to the lipoprotein structure. Now today we go beyond this part. Already in the first lecture, we already understood the lipoprotein is having the peripheral part, there are the phospholipids are there. In the core part, there is a triglyceride is there is a cholesterol is there, and cholesterol is in the form of cholesterol ester. As well as in the peripheral part with the phospholipid, there are the Apo-Liporproteins are there, and with the different lipoprotein, there will be different apoproteins are there. So in this part of lecture, we try to discuss about the different type of the lipoprotein and its relation with the different apolipoproteins. So this is already we have understood that the lipoprotein outer part, which is made up of the phospholipid, that is a polar part, and that polar part is because of the protein which is present on the outer membrane. Because we know that protein is made up of the amino acid, and different amino acid having different charges are there. And another polarity is there because of the glycerol, which is present as a head of the lipoprotein. That also gives the polarity. In the inner core, there is a hydrophobic triglyceride is there, and in the tail of phospholipid there is a fatty acid is there. So we can say the outer part is polar one, or you may say they're having the ability to attract the water, while inner part there is a more part of lipids are there. And apoprotein increase and if the protein part is more in amount, then it increases the solubility of the lipid. As we know, the protein is soluble in water. In this part, we going to learn about the different lipoprotein, and with that we also have to discuss that how we can separate out the different lipoprotein. So one differentiation already we have learned, the lipoprotein having the different density, and this different density is because of two components. One is because of triglyceride, another because of the protein which is present in the lipoprotein. So because of the density, we can separate the lipoprotein by ultracentrifugation. So we know that simply when we centrifuge our patient sample, when we are getting the sample from the patient side or doctor side or ward side, we have to separate out the cells and plasma, and we centrifuge it, and that centrifugation we does for the separate out the plasma, which is required for the biochemistry blood testing, and that will be done by the centrifugation, and that centrifugation principle is on a depend on the density. So we know that if a cell having a higher density, so it will settle down in the water, and whatever the water part is there or the plasma is there, it gets separated. So there will be our cells that may be in RBC, WBC, and this is our plasma, or in the cell, if we have below part is clotted and serum gets separated. So with the same principle, we can separate out the lipoprotein. So we know that the lipoprotein is having the high lipid content, which is in the low density, so it will float on a centrifugation. So if you draw the tissue like this, if you make the serum, and if you make the centrifugation, somehow for this particular separation, we require the speed of the centrifuge more than 75,000, and it may be up to 1 lakh. That is the normal RPM forces required in a centrifuge. In a clinical laboratory, when we are using the centrifuge, we generally centrifuge the blood sample at only about the 3000 RPM. So you can understand what is the difference here. When you want to separate out the lipoprotein at the time, the more speed is required, even more time is also required. And when we have done this particular thing, we get the different layers of the lipoprotein, just like this one. Because test tube is there, above part is having the chylomicron, and below part is a buildup of the SDM is there. And that separation is happened just because of the density. As the SDM is having the highest density, that is why it goes down, and this one is the lowest one, and that will be a upper part. The separation we can do by the electrophoresis. Now already we have understood that this all the molecules having the different apoproteins. With the apoprotein, there is a different concentration of apoprotein also. So we can understand if a chylomicron is at only 1 to 2% of protein is there, while SC is having a 40 to 50% protein is there. Obviously, if we can understand, if SC is having a more amount of the protein, then obviously it is having a more polarity, or is having the more positive or negative charges are there, and because of the charges, and we know that protein already having a more amount of the negative charges. And if the more amount of negative charges is there, then electrophoresis, it goes far from, we have put it the sample here. Okay. So when you put the sample here, as the SC is having a more number of the protein, more number of the negative charges, it will move more on electrophoresis rate. We are not going into detailing about that, but at least we can understand that which type of the apoprotein is there inside the lipoprotein. It makes the separation in electrophoresis. So there will be little bit differences there. When the chylomicron here because of the density, here that is because of the charges is there. Now we try to discuss in detail about the composition of the Apo-Liporprotein. Many times in the previous discussion, we have briefed about the what type of lipoprotein is there with what type of apoprotein is there in a lipoprotein. Now here we try to consider only few things. We are not going to consider each and every part. Start with the chylomicron. Chylomicron, we already understood 90 to 99% lipid is there, 1 to 2% protein is there. Okay, and almost you can see it having the Apo-A, B48, Apo-C 1, 2, 3, and E is there. So at least as a UG student, you can remember that it having the A also, B also, C also, and E is also there with the chylomicron. And this because the chylomicron is formed into the intestine. Mainly when we take up the food and all the lipid will absorb into the intestinal wall. In intestinal wall, whatever lipid we have consumed, it will generate the chylomicron. And that chylomicron having the maximum amount of big triglyceride. When this chylomicron goes reach to the liver and has got a further metabolism, you should understand it will be converted to different lipoprotein. So here you can understand that when the first step will get formed, that we are having the 90 to 93% of the lipid is there. But now here you can remember, we are trying to concentrate over the mainly apoprotein part. Now here you can see it doesn't having the A, it's mainly having the B and C. B and C is there. And in the B and C also, it's specifically having the B100. And you have to more consider on the C2. It mainly having the role. That we will try to discuss into the metabolism later on. Then you can easily remember the things. When you go about LDL, you can understand again percentage of the chylomicron can decrease. And this LDL only having the B100. When you're talking about STM, it's mainly as in having the main related to Apo-A. It also having the C, D, and E is also there. SDL also having the different type, different SDL, 1, 2, and 3 is there. We are not going into the detailing part of this, but these are the type of the apoproteins. Here you can, another picture you can capture that protein percentage. Initially it is 1 to 2%, when in real deal it is 7 to 10%, in SDL it is a 21% is there, and it is in a LDL it is a 21% is there. While we are talking about SDL, it is almost averagely 30 to 57%. So averagely you can remember it is a 40 to 50% protein is there. So it is increasing. Protein part is sequentially increasing, and triglyceride concentration sequentially get decreased. Now, as in the previous part, we already understood okay, if apoproteins are different, then function of lipoprotein also get different. So already we have discussed there is a different type of apoproteins are there, and different apoprotein having a different function. We are just taking the brief here that the different type of functions are there. Some of the function of the apoprotein is a structural role only. They are just a part of structure. Either they bind with having the inner peripheral tissue and they bind with the receptor and helping for the internalization of the cholesterol as well internalization of the lipoprotein inside the cells. That cell may be a liver cell, it may be a macrophage. In any cell, when the lipoprotein want to enter inside the cell, they may require ApoB as a structure. Some of the apoprotein will act as an enzyme activator, like C2. C2 having the main action to make the activation of lipoprotein lipase. Now, here just we try to take the brief that lipoprotein lipase is having the action to break any ester bond. So, just simply we can understand when they hit the chylomicron, when they hit the chylomicron and inside there is a triglyceride is there, when this chylomicron will reach into the liver. In liver, somehow this C2 which is present in the chylomicron will activate the lipoprotein lipase enzyme and break this triglyceride. Because in a chylomicron there is almost 99% of triglyceride is there, which is get broken down because of the activation of the lipoprotein lipase enzyme, just because of this Apo-Liporprotein C2. Once the triglyceride is broken down, the percentage of the next molecule which is generated because of the breakdown of chylomicron, the triglyceride percentage can decrease. It may come to the 70 to 80. So now the molecule which is generated, it having the least amount of the triglyceride, and we named this chylomicron maybe as a remnant of the chylomicron, or you may say it may be a VL. Detail of this metabolism again we are going to see here. Just try to understand how this enzyme or this apoprotein works. Same way, another lipoprotein that is A1 make the activator of the lecithin cholesterol acetyltransferase enzyme, and this particular enzyme will helping for the internalization of the cholesterol. Now we all know about the HDL. So in on HDL, there is an ApoA is there. Particularly when you talk ApoA1 is there, and this Apo having the capacity to activate the LCA enzyme. And because of the LCA enzyme, whatever the peripheral cholesterol is there, this peripheral cholesterol will bound with the fatty acid, and ultimately this type of structure get formed, that is cholesterol plus fatty acid. We call it is the cholesterol ester. And if the cholesterol ester get formed, then only this molecule will get internalized into the HDL, and then after this HDL molecule reach to the liver. So simply we can understand for the internalization of the cholesterol, ApoA is required, which activates the LCA enzyme, and which is activated by the HDL, and apoprotein which is present in the HDL. Some of them may act as an enzyme inhibitor also, like A2 and C3, that is inhibit the lipoprotein enzyme. Even C1 will inhibit the cholesterol ester transferase protein. Some of them are by as a ligand, as I told you, some of them are ligand like it act as a receptor. So A1 may be act as a receptor for the HDL, B100E are receptor for the LDL, E for LDL receptor related proteins. Some of the lipoprotein we are not clear that what's its particular function. So A4 and D we don't know what exact function is there. ApoD is believed to be important for the factor in neurodegenerative disorder. Later on, when we learn about the metabolism at that time, we are going to learn about the determining action of the C2, A1, and as well as about this HDL receptor as well as LDL receptor. So, when the complete understanding will come, then after you can mug up these functions. So this is just how enlisted the function of the Apo-Liporprotein. So as an undergraduate student, you might be asked some short notes as a classify the Apo-Liporprotein and give the detailed function about that. So this table might help you when you're writing in an exam. So individually we have written here that what is the function of Apo A is there, Apo 2 is there, Apo A2 is there, Apo B100 is there, Apo 48 is there. Here more importantly in this table is described that where it is present. If Apo A is there, then it is there in the HDL. But Apo A activate the LCA enzyme, while Apo 3, Apo 2 which is present in HDL3 which is inhibiting the LCA enzyme. What we have to remember, at least we have to remember Apo A, we have to remember B100 which is present in LDL and VLDL and it acts as a receptor. B48 is there which is present in a chylomicron and that is a major structural component. Possibly we have told that B is mainly playing the structural role. What is the difference between B and 48? That you understood that somehow when the chain for the Apo B100 it gets sorted, then the sorted part of the apoprotein is called the Apo B48. So simply we can understand if this particular protein chain might be having the 100 amino acid, while chain of the Apo B48 might be having the 48 amino acid. This will make us say there is a premature termination of the protein synthesis and that could be because of this protein gets synthesized shorter, but it remains functional, but the function will be different as per primary rules of the primary structure. If sequence and number of amino acids are different, then ultimately function of protein is different. Another point we have to remember here, that is C2, which already we understood, activate the extra-hepatic lipoprotein lipase. C3, inhibit the lipoprotein lipase enzyme. E, we already understood, it is a ligand for hepatic uptake. Okay, the chylomicron or any lipoprotein get uptaken either to the peripheral tissue or either when it come again through the liver. When it again come to the liver, the ligand will be Apo E, and it will happen. Another one, that is Apo A small a, we call it is a lipoprotein small, okay, which having the main role for impede the fibrinolysis and inhibit the plasma motions. So if it is a more in amount, we can understand if fibrinolysis get decreased, then there will be an increased number of fibrin and there will be increased amount of the clot, and that will increase the chances of either coronary artery disease or cerebral vascular disease. Hope you have understood this lecture about the lipoprotein and its classification and its role. In the next part of the lecture,
we discuss about the lipoprotein metabolism individually, and at that time you come to know that how the function will be provided by the apolipoproteins and how it's significant. Thank you.